Namaste everyone, I'm your co-host Shravani ma'am. Welcome to your favorite learning channel. The topic for today's video is forest significance, exploitation and conservation. So first we'll understand how forest resources are important to us, and then we will separately take up the significance, exploitation and conservation of forest. So these forest resources, they are very valuable to us because they form the integral part of the ecosystem. So originally we can say that in ancient times, we can say that originally, that is in ancient times, ancient times, two-fifth of the earth, two-fifth portion of the earth, okay, two-fifth of the earth was covered with forest. It was covered with what? It was covered with forest. And this is during the ancient times, that is originally. Okay. Then if we talk about the recent times, that is now more than one third of the entire area, now more than how much? More than one third of the entire area, that is the entire area that was covered with forest, one third of the entire area has been turned into barren land. It has been turned into barren land. So what can we say by this? We can say that the forests have been destructed. So this destruction of forest has resulted in temperature increase, less precipitation, high soil erosion, floods, extinction of several species, non-availability of forest products, imbalance in ecosystems, etc. So these are several bad effects that we have been facing due to the destruction of the forest covers. Now let's understand what is the significance of the forest. Okay, so let's talk about the significance. Okay, the significance of forest we will be talking about. So how are forests important to us? So the forests provide shelter to wildlife. They provide shelter. They provide shelter to the wildlife. Then what is the second significance? The forests are the natural habitat. They are what? They are the natural habitats. Natural habitat of several species, of several or different species of plants, animals, and apart from plants and animals, there are several tribal groups. Okay, there are several tribal groups that the tribal groups also utilize forests as their natural habitats. Okay, then we can say that the forests provide commercially important goods. So they provide, what do they provide? They provide commercially commercially important goods, and these goods can be example timber, okay, then honey, we can say, etc. So these can be timber, honey, animal products, medicinal compounds, etc. These are commercially important goods that are provided by the forests. Okay. Then the forest control, they have the capacity to control the climate. What do they control? They control the climate of an area. They control the climate of an area, and and they cause rain, and they also control soil erosion. Okay, so the forests also provide, they also provide the firewood. Okay, so the forest, they control the climate of an area, they can cause rainfall and also control soil erosion, because the trees, they have roots which tightly bind to the soil, and hence the soil erosion can be prevented by planting trees. Thus forests help in controlling the soil erosion. Okay, so this was the significance of forests. Now let's see how the exploitation is taking place. The exploitation, exploitation of forests. So how does this happen? The commercial exploitation at massive level results in mass destruction of forests. Okay, so deforestation has been done in large areas. How exploitation is taking place? By deforestation. Deforestation has been done in large areas, is done in large areas. Okay, so why is this done? In order to make, in order to make buildings, buildings, in order to make industries, then factories, for, and these are done for what? These are done for expanded level of urbanization. So these are all the results of urbanization, that is the development of buildings, industries, factories, etc., for which the forest covers are being removed, and this is the deforestation, that is the forest covers are being removed, and this is done in large scales in order to make buildings, industries, factories, etc., for expanding the process or the level of urbanization. So deforestation is required in order to procure the land for agriculture as well. Deforestation is required for procuring the land for agriculture as well, and not only for urbanization but also in urbanization we can say that it is also required, that is deforestation is also done for procuring the land for agriculture. Then the forests get wiped out due to wild type of forest fires. So forests are also wiped out, they are also wiped out due to wild type of forest fire, due to what? Wild type of forest fires. Okay, so human beings exploit forest resources, then we, that is human beings, also exploit the forest resources. And how do they exploit forest resources? Because we use or we cut down the trees for our need of timber, firewood, etc. Now, so for all these things, forest covers are removed or forests are exploited. So now what is deforestation then? How can we define it? Deforestation is actually the result of cutting of trees. It is the cutting of trees, and that is done recklessly. Recklessly. Okay, this is deforestation. Then there is another term known as reforestation. What is reforestation? Reforestation is the planning to plant trees. It is the planning to do what? To plant trees wherever the trees have been, wherever the trees have been cut. Okay, so it is the planting of trees in the areas where the trees have been cut. This is reforestation. Then there is another term known as afforestation. Afforestation. So what is done here? Afforestation is the process to organize. It is a process to organize. What is being organized here? It is the process to organize the large plantation, the large plantation, or to create, it is used to create artificial forest. Okay, so this process is known as afforestation. So first we talked about exploitation, how we are exploiting the forest covers, and then these are three terms, that is deforestation, where the trees are cut recklessly. Reforestation is another term. It is the planning to plant trees wherever the trees have been cut. And afforestation is the term, it is used to describe the process to organize the large plantation or to create artificial forest. Okay, now let's move on and understand the steps to conserve the forest area. So conservation, we can say conservation of forests. So let's see how can we conserve forests. Various steps we can follow to conserve the forest covers. So let's understand what are these steps. So we need to reduce the rate of deforestation, right? So cutting of trees should be reduced. So reduced or reduce the rate of deforestation. So when we reduce the rate of deforestation, we can conserve our forest covers. Then we need to control the forest fire. We should control what? Control the forest fires, which usually is responsible for the destruction of large forest areas. Okay, then we need to check and control the forest area clearance. We need to check and control. We need to check and control what? The forest area clearance. The forest area clearance for the purpose of agriculture, for the purpose of what? Agriculture and inhabitation. Okay, then we need to control the large spread of diseases in forest land. Okay, so control the large spread The large spread of what? The large spread of diseases. The large spread of diseases in the forest land. So the large spread of diseases must be controlled in the forest land. Then we need to maintain the utilization of forest resources. We should maintain what? The utilization of forest resources in a wise manner. That is, we should not over exploit the forest resources and we must use them in a wise manner. Okay, so now let's quickly revise everything that we have studied today. So today we have learned about the forest resources, their significance, exploitation, and about their conservation. So forest resources are very valuable to us as they form an integral part of the ecosystem. So originally, that is during ancient times, 2/5 of the earth was covered with forest. Okay, but now more than 1/3 of this entire area has been turned into barren land, and now we understand by this data that the forests have been destructed, and this destruction of forests has resulted in increase in temperature, less precipitation, high soil erosion, floods, extinction of several species, etc. Okay, so it has overall resulted in an imbalance in ecosystems. Then we talked about the significance of forests. So these forests, they provide shelter to wildlife, they form the natural habitats for several species of plants, animals, and several tribal groups. Then, forests also provide commercially important goods like timber, honey, medicinal compounds, etc. And forests help to control the climate of an area as they cause rain, and also they can control the soil erosion. They also provide firewood. So these are the significance of the forest. Then we talked about the exploitation of forest, that is, deforestation is one of the major cause of exploitation of forests, and this has been done in large areas to make buildings, industries, factories, etc. for an expanded level of urbanization. Then the forests are also wiped out due to wild type of forest fires, and deforestation is also required in order to procure land for agriculture. Okay, so then apart from these, human beings also exploit forest resources, and we talked about these three terms, that is, one is deforestation, which is the cutting of trees recklessly. Then there is another term called reforestation, which means the planning to plant trees in the areas where the trees have been cut. Then there is another term called afforestation, which is the process to organize the large plantation or to create artificial forest. Okay, then we talked about the different steps that we can follow in order to conserve our forest resources. So how can we conserve them? We can conserve them by reducing the rate of deforestation. We should control the forest fires. Then we need to check and control the forest area clearance that is done for agriculture and inhabitation. Then we should control the large spread of diseases in the forest land, and we should maintain the forest covers by utilizing the forest resources in a wiser manner. That is, we must not over exploit the resources that we can obtain from the forest. Okay, so I hope you all would have got some great insights by watching today's video. Please do not forget to like and share the video. Till then, thank you for watching.